countdown begin. Razor Rays back live again. Pop culture, entertainment, of course, the hot topics. Traveling somewhere in the tropics. Usually for Zerb, for smoke show panels, $1 million plays. We expanding the channel, they say opinions like assholes. Watch your mouth at all times, and don't mess up the cash flow, we live.
What up, what up, what up? Razor Rays back live again on this Saturday night live stream. And we got breaking news. Hit that like button as you guys come in, guys. Big time news regarding the Diddy trial, guys. Now, as you guys know, I have been covering the trial since he was arrested, and I have recently been making my way down to the courthouse. There was a alleged victim that was on the stand testifying for the prosecutors last week, and her name was Bree or Brianna. Now, that's not her real name, but that's the name she is using as an alias on that stand. And she claimed that Sean Diddy Combs dangled her off of a 17th floor balcony inside LA on a specific date. Okay, now I'm going to read to you exactly what is going on with that testimony. Diddy's team, the lawyers cross-examined her. That's when I said the jurors were smiling when Diddy's legal team, Brian Steele, was cross-examining her, catching her up on alleged lies, right? And that's when I said Diddy has won over the jury with that, because the jury pretty much believed she was lying, I guess. So that's according to reports of the people that was inside the courtroom and was looking at the jury reaction and this and that. So now, and I was thinking when I came on, hit the like button as you guys come in. I was thinking that is such huge testimony that Diddy would dangle her over the balcony 17 stories high, and he could have dropped her to her death. That would have been huge news. And I'm like, that is such huge testimony right there in front of those 12 jurors that's going to decide Diddy's fate. And I was like, well, hey, are they just going to let this go away? Let it just slide? Because really, Diddy, all the baby oil Diddy uses, what if he would have had baby oil on his arms and she would have slipped out of his arms because of the baby oil and fell to her death? And I'm like, well, they're going to just let that go? But nope, they have not just let that go after that cross-examination from the Diddy team. They have now filed for a mistrial, guys. Hit that like button. They have filed for a mistrial today. They want this trial to end by Monday. Hit the like button, guys. By Monday, they want it over with. So they want this decision from the judge to come down and give a mistrial. And I'm going to read you exactly why the lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs wants the mistrial. It is regarding that Brianna testimony about being dangled over that 17th floor balcony. Shout out to you, T. Williams. Salute to you. Hit that like button, guys. Will Diddy get the mistrial? I'm going to put that up. Let me put, like I said, guys, I mean, I'm just here to give y'all the straight facts of what's going on inside that courtroom. And now with this mistrial request, is a strong possibility that the judge may go ahead and grant the mistrial. All right. Let me see. Will judge grant mistrial? Let me see. And guys, you got to take your personal, biasness out of it. You got to look at the law. As y'all keep telling me to look at the law in the letter of the law and this and that. Well, according to the letter of the law, there can be a mistrial granted because of the behavior of what went down inside that courtroom by the prosecution's witness. You know what I mean? So, all right, my fault, I spelled that wrong. Man, will the judge go ahead and interpret the law, as y'all keep telling me to interpret the law? Will the judge interpret the law and grant the mistrial? Hit that like button. Or, like I was saying, is the judge human? And the judge going to say, well, no, I don't really think this is mistrial worthy. Well, according to the letter of the law, yeah, it is mistrial worthy. like y'all been telling me, raise for the past couple of weeks. But hit that like button, though, guys. Hit that like button. I'm just here trying to give y'all the facts. Like I said, shout out to you, T. Williams. Shout out to my guy, Extreme Traveler, is in the building. Salute to you, Extreme Traveler. How you doing? How you doing? Judge not granting a mistrial. They rarely do. Rails the hater. Okay, well, we'll see on Monday. We'll see, because according to the letter of the law, doesn't matter if they rarely do it or not. They supposed to do it, right? If it's, if it follows the guidelines of mistrial, like like y'all saying the sex trafficking do, cross the straight lines, razor raise, you got to be guilty. So, okay, there's no gray area there. Okay. Rails the hater. I know that was false when I heard it without the dates. Diddy really gonna dangle a chick by himself off a balcony? And the strange part is, it sounded weird when I first heard the testimony, because when she first said it, they asked her, the prosecutors asked her, why did he say he dangled you off the balcony? All she would say is that Diddy kept saying, you know what the F you did. You know what the F you did. He just barged in there saying, you know what the F you did. So she never gave detail of what the F she did, or what the F he said she did, for him to be so enraged and maybe drop her to her death from 17 floors up. She never said. She just said, he was just saying, you know what the F you did. You know what the F you did. Then I'm like, Brianna, what the F did you do to piss Diddy off that bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to do that, that's worse than him beating up Cassie inside the hotel building. That's something you should have went to the police. Forget about any money. Forget about any relationships you had. He could have killed you. Like I said, that baby oil he had on him, you could have slipped out of his hands, out of his arms, all that baby oil on him, and fell to your death. And then a couple of days later, you go into his concert. Next week, you asking Cassie what kind of hoodie he would like, because you want to buy him a hoodie. The same person that dangled you off a balcony could have killed you, and you're doing that. So it was always suspect to me. And right now, they are asking for a mistrial because of that testimony. I'm gonna give you the exact reason why in a minute. And shout out to Rob or not, hit that like button. Shout out to you, Hot Wayne mistrial. Yeah, they talking about mistrial. Hot Wayne. We'll see if they grant it on Monday. With the judge grants it on Monday. Okay, Zed Bates. You know how I keep telling you guys, you cannot believe in any case, not just this case, you cannot believe every witness just because the feds bring the witness to the stand. Just because it's the feds doing it and the prosecution doing it, you can't take every single witness at their word as gospel, right? You can't do it. You can't do it. So this is a lesson learned. So Zed Bates, this is all part of the play. They wanted Diddy to get hope just by public humiliation. Now receipts will come out to slam dunk him. The cliffhangers over, says Zeb. Shout out to you, Zeb. Hit that like button, guys. This might be a mistrial on Monday, guys. We'll see. Now, Rails the hater said no, they don't really do it. But hey, this is the trial of the century. There's a high-profile case right now, and the judge is going to have to do something. The judge is going to have to do something for what the judge. He got on Diddy for nodding at the jurors, right? He said that's unacceptable, Diddy. You're trying to, and not intimidate the jurors, but you're trying to get the jurors' attention and this and that. Well, the prosecutor's putting up a person to lie something about something so huge and big. Like I said, I think that's worse than what he did to Cassie, as far as that videotape. If he actually dangled this girl off of that 17th floor balcony, he could have really killed her. You know what I mean? And if the judge just let this fly and not do anything, not make it known publicly to the prosecution, then Diddy and them could go to Trump and be like, "Hey, Trump, look at this. We're being treated unfairly, as you said. You said you would grant a pardon for people that's getting treated unfairly." Guys, I think this is a play for a Trump pardon also, guys. Hit that like button. You got to hit that like button, guys. This is a play for a Trump pardon, guys. I just thought about that. This might be the Diddy's team play for a Trump pardon. So now, if the judge don't do anything about their mistrial request, go right to Trump, the president of the U.S. of A., and say, "Hey, Trump, remember what you said, Trump? Matter of fact, let me play for what Trump said real quick, and then I'm gonna get to why his team is filing this motion to do the mistrial, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what would happen in an event if the judge was to grant a mistrial on Monday. And but this is them. They could take this to Trump, say, hey, Trump, we're being treated unfairly here by the prosecutors and the feds, bringing up witnesses on the stand that they know is lying.
Mr. President, more of a big six question, but back in most of The Apprentice, you mentioned once in 2012 that Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, he sort of, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know, he didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So I can't, it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Mr. President,
Now you see right there, President Trump said if somebody is being treated unfairly, and you know Trump, he been to court himself, and he thinks that he was being treated misfairly inside these federal courtrooms and this and that. Diddy's team could go to him and be like, look at this mistrial we trying to get. It's obvious that we proved that this person was lying. She got her dates mixed up, and the judge is not doing anything. The judge is in on it, and we are being treated misfairly. Trump, this is not good at all. The prosecution knew that this girl was lying, and they still put her up there to try to make the case and in front of the jurors that our guy is such an awful guy, just to force a conviction. So I think that's a play right there. All right. Shout out to you, L.A. Wilkes, Black Line. Like I said, once again, subscribe to my guy, L.A. Wilkes, Black Line channel, who is covering the Diddy trial also. Shout out to you, L.A. Wilkes. Whatever the play, Diddy not doing no real time at 80 points, says Ricky Ricks. Trump disliked Diddy, so that pardon out the window. They did used to like each other until he started running for office. That's what he said, Zed Bates. Sounds like Trump don't really like Diddy. He don't really like Diddy because he said Diddy said some nasty things about him when he started running for president. Rolando G, the fact he brought up how Diddy turned on him shows he not likely to get a pardon, especially with 50 Cent, a Trump supporter, going hard against him. 50 is going to pretty much destroy that. Yeah, I think 50 Cent is going to come between him and that pardon. 50 Cent did say he's going to send a message to Trump not to pardon Diddy. I drive a black on black Bentley. I'm big on black 9. I clap. All right. Now let me see. Sounds like a yes to me. He can't just outright say that before the verdict. All right. Sounds like a yes to me. He can't just outright say that before verdict. The president can pardon out anytime. He could end this trial today. Yes, he can. He can. Trump can end the trial tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow, if he really wanted to. Shout out to you, Rob, AK's, BK's finest. We are covering this mistrial that might be coming up on Monday. We shall see if the judge grants it or if the judge says anything to the prosecutors about misbehaving. People lie on the stand all the time. It's up to the judge to hold her in contempt. Yes, hold her in contempt with such a huge lie. This is not a small lie, T. Williams. This is such a huge, devastating lie that, you know, you basically might as well say that was like attempted murder. And now you're entering attempted murder into the trial in front of those 12 jurors who can be responsible for Diddy getting life if they find him guilty and the judge sentences him to life. You know what I'm saying? Any quick info on finger? No. Nope, no info lately that's credible. I heard rumors, but I don't want to put it out there, Edmund. So I'm not even going to say I heard rumors, but it's just rumors. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to put anything out there on finger that's rumors. You know what I mean? So I'm until I hear something solid, that's when I'm going to go ahead and do a live show on it. Drew, this would be a good poll for the chat. Will Diddy get a mistrial? Yes or no? Oh, all right. If I can bring it up, if I can bring a poll up on the StreamYard, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm gonna look for the option. Drew, shout out to you, Drew. Diddy used to bash Trump all the time when he ran for president and before he got locked up. He was trying to form an all-black party besides Republicans and Democrats, said Zeb. 50 Cent is serious too. He really going to call Trump, says Brandon Clark Stocks Passport. So he said 50. Well, like I said, I'm not going to get into the rumor of the person that's testifying right now, but you can understand why if that's true. 50 Cent was trolling the other day, but he took down the tweets, or not the tweets. He took down the Instagram posts of the person that's testifying. But I'm not even going to get into that, just in case I want to go inside the courtroom. I don't want to deny a judge's order about doxing the person that's on the stand right now testifying, the Jane Doe. Hell no, Trump would look too crazy to end this early. Get real. Yeah. I don't think he would do it early. I would think he would do it on his way out when he's leaving office. Like they always do. They do about 200 pardons, 200 or 300 pardons or commutations, and he'll just calmly just go ahead and write Diddy's name as one. Mistrial, long overdue, says Killer Rob. So Killer Rob, you said this has been long overdue. They were saying it was long overdue since the Kid Cudi incident. They wanted a mistrial for the Kid Cudi thing because they were saying the prosecutors was questioning whether or not Diddy probably had the police department burn the fingerprints, destroy the fingerprints. They didn't like that line of questioning, so they asked for a mistrial back then, but the judge denied it. Shout out to Positive Journey. No Diddy. I hope he's cool, says Positive Journey. I think they picked the wrong juror. Yeah. Well, Diddy did it, says Red-Blooded American. Okay, so matter of fact, so let's find out what happens in the event of a mistrial, and I'm going to read you why they want a mistrial, exactly what they sent to the judge. Now, this is mistrial is as a noun, a trial that has no legal effect with regard to one or more of the charges brought against the defendant because of some serious error or prejudicial misconduct in the processing or a hung jury. Also, this is from Nolo. A trial that ends prematurely and without a judgment, okay, that due either to a mistake that jeopardizes a right to a fair trial or to a jury that can't agree on a verdict, okay, is a hung jury. So that's the hung jury. All right. If a judge declares a mistrial, which that'll be in this case, right? Well, in the civil trial, no, not the civil trial, he or she will direct that the case be set for a new trial at a future date. Mistrials in criminal cases, this is the case. Mistrials in criminal cases can result in a retrial, okay? A retrial, guys. It could be a retrial, all right? A plea bargain or a dismissal of the charges. So in this case, if the judge comes on Monday and say mistrial, they can work out a plea deal. They can dismiss the case altogether or do a retrial. And I read the retrial will be with a whole new jury. They would have to do a whole new jury selection and everything. If the judge on Monday shocks the world and says mistrial, can you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine the headlines? Could you? And I'm telling you, it's because of this Brianna girl. I didn't believe her testimony when she first was saying it, because I'm like, did he hanging you off a balcony? Like I said, that baby all you want his arm, he slip and drop you. he got a murder charge on him. All that money, he got a murder charge on him. He going to jail for life. You know what I'm saying? You know, no evidence has been shown for sure. So you have a point, Razor Rays. It's all been hearsay, but it's all connected. So if one of them is lying, that means all of them was lying. Yeah, and this is what the defense is trying to say. Now, if we prove that she was lying with the receipts, that means who else is lying? Maybe Jane Doe is lying. You know, hell, they saying that Cassie and the Brianna girl that claims she was hung over the thing hatched up the plan. This was Diddy's defense team. They hatched the plan to say that he held her over the balconies to make their civil cases better so they could get more money, so they could win their $10 million lawsuit and Cassie could win hers. So Hackam says a plea bargain. Yeah, they could do a plea bargain. They could dismiss the case altogether or do a retrial. And anything as far as his bail, now he doesn't have bail, so he would have to remain locked up until they make the decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting come Monday. Then he in New York, that man can't get no fair trial in New York, says Ricky Ricks. Too many resources, says Hakeem. I just think you're misjudging the power and resources of the feds. That's why Diddy has 10 lawyers, because he knows, but evidence will be shown. It's still 3 to 4 weeks left. Yeah, it's 3 to 4 weeks left, unless there's a mistrial. Hey, Zeb, unless there's a mistrial on Monday. You know, look, listen, we've seen all types of crazy stuff going down. This is Diddy we're talking about. Diddy is a freak and a weirdo, and this is highly weird. What better way to have to start off next week on Monday than a mistrial? You know, that'll just be part of course with this weird case anyway. They really don't want a retrial. They want a mistrial that is dismissed to prosecutorial misconduct, so it can't be brought up again. Yes, that's what they would really want. But even so, even if it was retrial, they can use that they was able to get a mistrial as leverage and as a defense for the next trial too. But yeah, they will want that. They will want the case dismissed altogether and not without a retrial. And maybe he'll just sign a plea deal for time served and move on. You know what I mean? Be on like 15 years probation, a la Young Thug or whatever. A new jury isn't good for Diddy, considering he already won this jury. T. Williams, you're right. I did put out there that he won the jury. He has been winning the jury. And man, yo, T. Williams, that is a great point. So many twists and turns, guys. You gotta hit that like button. So many twists and turns what's going on right now. I like to hear from some legal experts to see the possibility that Diddy can get a mistrial on Monday. Will the judge actually grant this mistrial? He might go free, says Hakeem Glass. He might go free. They have to prove the prosecutors know 100% that she was lying. Now, I'm going to read to you, according to ABC News, what they sent to the judge. All right, I could break up the exact, form and read it to you, but I'm going to just read you what ABC was saying of the a synopsis of what they sent to the judge instead of reading you the real document, the real legal document they sent to the judge requesting this be thrown out, because they marked all of that. They said that the prosecutors knew. Rails the hater. They said the prosecution knew. They claimed that the prosecutors knew that their client was lying. So I'm going to read to you in a few minutes. There could be a mistrial. Very true, says Brandon Clark Stocks Passport. Rolando G. Wright. Rob, a.k.a. BK, only for the money she's sworn out. We don't wife up 304s. That's for her husband. Correct, unless there is a mistrial. 100 Kilobrand. I could wife up Cassie. Well, yeah, she got money now. I could too. Actually, you know what I'm saying? I know she, I say she's damaged goods, but not with $30 million in her bank account. She ain't. His lawyers are trying hard. Yes, they're trying hard. People been getting on his lawyers in the beginning of the trial, but I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, now you got to wait for the trial to start, and now they're going hard. Ajima's World is in the building. I can't barely keep up with all your latest videos. Yeah, because Ajima, there's so many twisted turns, Ajima, in this trial, and there is a chance that the judge may grant a mistrial. Can y'all imagine that? Y'all wake up Monday morning, headed to work. Breaking news, mistrial declared. Mistrial declared in the Sean Diddy Combs racketeering trial of the century. Now, would the prosecutors go ahead and decide to retry the case? They got to pick a whole new jury, which, like I said, T. Williams said would be bad for Diddy because I think he won over the jury already. I think he had. I mean, he don't need to win over all 12 jurors. He just need a couple. And I think if the trial goes on, Diddy's team, Brian Still, is going to destroy the Jane Doe lady that's been getting paid $10,000 a month from Diddy while he's in jail. Actually, so she's not even doing no freak offs at the moment, and he's still paying her 10 grand a month. So she talked about coercion. About, hey, I was coerced because I want my rent paid, and he was threatening to take that 10 grand away. So I kept doing the freak offs with him and other men, which I didn't want to do, even though I loved him. She hasn't had to do any freak offs for the past 8 months since he's been in prison. He's still paying her rent to this day, $10,000, which that'll most likely end him since she testified against him. I would cut her off if I was him, to be honest with you. But the feds will crush him, says Stinson. We'll see on Monday. If it's going to be this mistrial. I ain't with no beating no woman, but it's Diddy. Plea out to probation, pay them girls they damaged in the civil trial, come out as by, try to get ahead of it all. Yes, and them girls gonna get paid. I mean, the girls that's telling the truth, they gonna get paid. Cassie already got paid. Next time I go live, I'm going to play Cassie's song. Says Rob, aka BK's Finest. Shout out to you and your channel, Rob, aka BK's Finest. Thanks for putting up here. Will Diddy get a mistrial on Monday, guys? Hit that like button. She had her dates mixed up, so it's not yet confirmed she was lying. Now, I'm to the point where if you come into trial and the federal agents are trying to get you on a racketeering, right? The defense have to have their dates proper, right? The prosecution have to have their dates proper, right? And the prosecution's key witnesses have to have their dates proper and vetted, right? Or else, like Judge Judy would say, you can't come to court like this. You got to bring evidence when you come to court. I can't make a decision. What are you doing? How are you going to come to court without the right dates? So even Judge Judy would tell you, any judge with a fair mind and a straight mind would tell you, you can't come to court with your dates mixed up, especially saying that somebody dangled you off of a 17th floor balcony. You better have your evidence proper lined up, especially if you have no police reports or nothing like that has the date of the incident. You can't mess up with that. You know why? Because you can destroy a whole case like that, even if you're telling the truth. We've seen it happen in the OJ trial. What happened when Mark Furman took the stand? He took the fifth, and that was a huge thing. He pleaded the fifth to not incriminate himself because they asked him, did you tamper with evidence in the OJ trial? And once he said he pleaded the fifth because he did not want to incriminate himself, everybody took that as, and Diddy's, I mean, not Diddy, OJ's defense team, Johnny Crocker and them, Shapiro, they were like, wait, you see, that's pretty much, he is admitting that he did it, but he's not, that's why he pled the fifth, because he don't want to admit that he did tamper with the evidence. So that put that in the jury's head that even, there's evidence out there, maybe this guy did tamper with the evidence. Mark Furman destroyed that OJ case. Even though most people think he did it. OJ did the crime. But Mark Furman, it took one person to plead the fifth on that one question. It totally destroyed a case that the prosecution thought they had in the bag. America thought they had that case in the bag. And all it took was that one Mark Furman dude to go up there and destroy a whole case. What will the judge do on Monday? Now, I know some people don't want to hear this. Yeah, some people want Diddy buried, but I'm telling you, I mean, let's see. Most motions for mistrial are just to preserve issues on the record in case they have to appeal. Most lawyers know the judge rarely grants them, says Rails the hater. Cassie got money, sores on her. Well, I can't. he should have taken a deal. I don't think so. I don't think so, Stinson, because the deal he would have took was going to be 15 years anyway. Hell, he could be convicted and he still might only get 15 years. I mean, the judge might just sentence. He could get 15 years of life. So why take a 15-year plea deal before the trial when even if you're convicted of some of the stuff, the judge might only sentence you to 15 years anyway. So you might as well take a swing for it. You might as well take a swing for it and try to get your freedom or try to get some type of time served plea deal. Would the feds have to give his assets if he wins? Well, if he wins, I would think he would have to keep it. He would keep all his assets if he wins. If he's straight out acquitted, right? You mean? Sounds like the YSL lawyer putting in that work, money well spent. Yes, the YSL lawyer, which is this guy yet again, Brian Still. He got Young Thug that plea deal bargain. Hit that like button, guys. Right there, that guy right there. Diddy spent his money well hiring this guy. Let me see. You don't think they would consider it's been that long ago? So a couple of days off, especially when they showed the text messages from Cap and Cassie alleged. The problem with the Cassie text messages, and I'm going to read to you exactly what they said. They said Cassie wasn't even there. So Cassie got a message from a third person, which is the KK lady, and they said that's hearsay. There's a possibility that Cassie wasn't even there, and Brianna said she wasn't 100% sure if Cassie was there, but she heard Cassie's voice, but she didn't get to talk to her after the incident. I'm like, what the hell? And then Cassie went to her lawsuit that she had against Diddy. She mentioned the balcony hanging about her friend Brianna getting hung off the balcony, and it wasn't at a hotel. She had the wrong place it happened at, and Brianna had to tell her, no, you got that wrong. It didn't happen at that hotel. It did not happen at that hotel. So Brianna fired her own lawyer because her own lawyer got the thing wrong, according to her, when they asked for money from Diddy. So I mean, when you come to court, you have to have your facts right, or you're going to sink a case. You are going to sink a case. Now, the feds put in a lot of work to try to get Diddy on this stuff. All it takes is one witness to sink your case. That's some poor vetting by the prosecutors. I mean, you just got to be honest. If he's not guilty, let him go. If he's guilty, then lock him up. This definitely reeks of time served, says 100. No mistrial. Robert says he's not buying it. He's not buying it. This will not be a mistrial. He's guilty of bribery right now. Kidnapping not confirmed yet, unless evidence come out. He has a lot of charges. And the problem is with these people that's without the evidence. If this person, which I think they proved that she was lying, everybody else that was talking about what Diddy did to them, who's to say they weren't lying too? And then you would ask Rays, and I would ask this too. Why would they lie? What did they have to gain by lying, going on the stand under oath and lying? You know what? And I just thought about this before it came live. Money. The same reason people risk their livelihood and lives to go rob a bank with guns, knowing they might get caught, knowing they'll get like 20 years in prison. Money. Brianna had a $10 million lawsuit against Diddy. If she comes to trial, Diddy gets convicted, guess what? That makes her civil suit against Diddy look better. She was a high-profile case. She thinks she automatically going to get a few $1 million, change her life financially. And I'm not going to say that I probably wouldn't try the same thing. It's all about money. Money, follow the money. If you can come out here and bury Diddy on trial, not saying he's innocent or nothing, but I'm just saying, if you can make your case look better, and this is why people go with the Tony Busby, because they all say this and say that. They trying to get money. It's all about money. Humans do crazy stuff for money. There's no limits to what a human being would do. So for somebody to go on the stand and just over-exaggerate what happened or even flat out lie, if it means you could get $5 to $10 million in your bank account, which you've never seen in your life, and change your life, oh, hell yeah, somebody would lie you on stand. Because I always like, man, she would lie she would lie about something like that? Yes. Same reason people rob people. Hell, we seen people pull up on people to try to take their chain. They don't give it the chain and they shoot them. So now you risking going to jail. Why? Over a gold chain so you can sell for the money. Same thing with this. The money. So yes, all these people got a reason to lie. Like I said, I'm not gonna play holier than thou. Like I can't say that I wouldn't 100% do it either. You know what I mean? If I had like a $15 million lawsuit that pending, and they say, you know what, let me go ahead and go to this trial. I got the subpoena. Let me go to this trial and let me spice up what happened to me to help my own financial thing in my own separate civil case. Hell yeah, I would do that. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say that because I don't want hell yeah, there's a chance I might do that. So that's just the human mind. You know what I'm saying? So people do stuff for money that, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Diddy can't even get bail, but he might get a mistrial. Hey, love your honesty. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not here to play holier than thou because I know life-changing money when I see it. And this is like I said, I've seen people do stupid stuff and go to jail over $100 trying to rob somebody of $100. Imagine you could get $5 to $10 million in your bank account. You know what I'm saying? If Diddy's found guilty, you are a star witness. That'll help your civil case a lot. It is not far-fetched because she does have a civil case against the guy. Hearsay is crazy to go to jail for 15 years, says Killer Rob. It's all about money facts. Why I can't see this ending early. It's too much money being made right now. Raise your spitting facts. They should not be witnesses if they are pursuing lawsuits against the defendant. Cliff Huxtable situation is not worse than Diddy's case. Yerp 129 here. Get the lights up. Yes, hit the like button. Everybody new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, please. I appreciate everybody, all the new subscribers we're getting. When I hit the mega millions, I'm going to put Steele on retainer. Yeah, you better. you better. He guilty of bribery right now. Now kidnapping not confirmed. Okay, so I read these. There is no mistrial in DJ Dean said there is no mistrial in hell. Hey, listen, what hey, one idiot witness, or one, I want to say idiot, but one bad witness for the prosecutors can really tank a case. And not just for the mistrial, but for later on in the eyes of the jurors. Those 12 jurors, guys. Brian Steele did the same thing in the Young Thug trial with his mistrials. Yeah, I knew that. I know he tried to get multiple mistrials in that case. The Young Thug. Diddy ain't going nowhere but in that cell. Jimmy Davis said. How does one get a name like Puffy? They did tell the history of that, but I forgot. You could Google it. I did see over a couple of weeks ago how he got that name Puffy. I forgot exactly. I think because he used to get his face used to puff up when he got mad or something about that when he was younger. He was like a teenager. Why do you say that mistrial? Why? Okay, so let me read to you this from ABC News, guys. Hit that like button. Either way, Diddy ain't going to suffer. He is having freak-offs in jail. Ah, man, that's disgusting to even a picture, you know. He used huff and puff when he used to huff and puff when he was angry. Okay, yeah. So right there. Thank you for that, Lady Sheeran. Yeah, he used to huff and puff when he got angry when he was younger. Thus the name Puff Daddy. So yeah. Rob, aka BK's finest, says after 12 jurors. Well, hey, they hold Diddy's fate in their hands. Now, if there's a mistrial, Rob, aka BK's finest, and the prosecution wants to do a retrial, it's going to be 12 new jurors. Okay. Let me see. The problem is he's an angry man. Yes. Okay. Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs again asked for a mistrial in sex trafficking case. Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs, okay, hit the like button, or again asking the judge overseeing his sex trafficking trial to declare a mistrial based on alleged prosecutor misconduct. So somebody asked about the misconduct. They are alleging the prosecutors, the feds have did misconduct, okay? In a letter filed on Saturday, defense attorney Alexandra Shapiro alleged that federal prosecutors presented false evidence related to the allegation that Sean Diddy Combs dangled Brianna, a longtime friend of Combs' ex-girlfriend and star witness Cassie Ventura, off a 17th floor apartment balcony in Los Angeles in 2016. Combs' lawyers are accusing Brianna of perjury. Hit that like button, guys. They said that she perjured herself. And guys, they called her a flat-out liar to her face. On the stand, said you are lying in front of everybody in this courtroom. And she didn't really have no real strong answers to that. She just said, I don't agree. But all right, let's get on with it. While Brianna testified that she was able to document her injuries from the attack on September 26th. Remember those dates, guys. September 26th. Defense attorney showed the jury hotel receipts that proved that Combs was in New York between September 24th and the 29th, 2016. So she said the injuries and the attack happened on September 26th. Sean Diddy Combs was apparently in New York City between September 24th and the 29th of 2016. The government knew or should have known this testimony was perjured and that Miss Brianna could not possibly have been injured by Sean Diddy Combs on a Los Angeles balcony in the early morning hours of September 26th or even the day before that. Diddy's defense team wrote. Guys, what are y'all thinking right now? What are y'all guys thinking? Remember those? After being showed the hotel records placing Combs in New York around the time of the incident, Brianna stood by her allegations, and prosecutors argued that the incident could have happened before September 24th. They argued that the episode of unexplained violence suggested to the jury that the rap mogul was an angry and dangerous man who terrified Miss Cassie and her friends. Defense lawyers last month unsuccessfully pushed for a mistrial after prosecutors tried to ask about the destruction of fingerprint evidence related to the arson investigation into Kid Cudi's torch sports car. Prosecutors alleged that Combs coordinated the firebombing of the car at the Kid Cudi known professionally. After Kid Cudi began dating Cassie Ventura. Defense attorneys argued that the line of questioning could suggest that Combs improperly tampered with the investigation into the arson, but the judge immediately denied the request. So in the Kid Cudi incident, the defense was like, we want a mistrial because we don't like the way you're pretty much, the prosecutors are saying that Diddy has something to do with the fingerprints getting destroyed in the possession of the LAPD. All right. In Saturday's letter, defense attorney also argued that prosecutors continued their improper line of questioning by asking Combs' former assistant how she was able to avoid speeding tickets by mentioning his name. Testifying under Mia, the woman is a former assistant of Combs who has accused the mobile of sexual assault. It became apparent shortly thereafter during the questioning of Mia the very next day that, in fact, the government's motive all along must have been to suggest that Mr. Combs had corrupt influence over the LA authorities when it tried to create the impression that he was responsible for the destruction of the fingerprints, defense lawyers argued. All right, and it goes on to say Combs is charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and the prostitution. Okay, let's see. Prosecutors have not yet responded to the Saturday's request for a mistrial. They are expected to file a response ahead of court on Monday. So get your popcorn ready for Monday, guys. What are y'all thinking? Will he be granted the mistrial? That's big testimony that she was held. Now they're saying the prosecutors saying, well, it could have been before the 24th. Well, that's on you guys. When you come to court, like Judge Judy would tell you, you can't have something that important that important, basically attempted murder or threatening murder. And like I said, if he had all that baby oil on him, he could have, dropped her out of his hand. She could have slipped out to her death. 17 stories. You can't. You gotta vet your dates. You can't come to trial and something that important and that huge of a testimony have dates wrong. You know what I mean? It something like that can just crush the legitimacy of the testimony. It can crush the further witnesses that the prosecutors bring, and also delegitimize the past people that testified for the prosecution. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the judge do on Monday. Will the judge do anything? And like I said, if the judge don't do anything, what's gonna happen is, well, that's more ammunition for them to take the Trump to say, look, we're not getting a fair trial over here. You know what I mean? We're not. We proved that Diddy wasn't inside LA during the time, Trump, and they're still not doing anything. They're still allowing. They're not even telling the jury to disregard that testimony by Brianna. I think the judge is going to have to do something. Maybe tell the jury to don't listen to the or don't take into consideration the Brianna testimony. Maybe he'll just do that. She made it up. He was in New York City on tour with Cassie, who said she witnessed this. And the thing is, even Brianna couldn't really say 100% if Cassie witnessed it. She just said she heard Cassie's voice in the background. So and then Cassie in her lawsuit got the wrong hotel that it supposed. I mean, it didn't even happen in the hotel. It happened, I don't know where. It was something about a mix-up. They got the facts crossed up. Oh man, Diddy was a customer, not a pimp. Not scandalous enough to get a mistrial. Raise, when you going on your next trip? Likely after this trial, after the verdict is in, because I'm covering this, I'm going down to the courthouse. So unless I just do it like a three-day trip, which I don't plan on doing. You know me now. I like to do like 3 weeks to a month. So I might just wait until this trial is over. This should be over like the end of this month or in first week of July. So I'm going to be here to cover this trial. If what Tisa says is true from her inside knowledge, she says the lawyer said and did all this knowing the proof was about to be shown to prosecutors. I guess the defense called their bluff. These brothers are clowns. After they give Puffy life, they coming after Jay-Z. Now, here's another thing. If y'all talk about people getting their dates mixed up, remember the lawsuit that female had against Jay-Z and Diddy, saying she was assaulted by them, and Jay-Z said, I ain't paying a dime. I'm fighting this. It turns out the date she said it happened, they were at the VMAs. There was a VMA. They was at the VMAs, and that they could not have actually been there because they were at the VMAs during that time that she said it happened. And then people that were trying to defend her was like, oh, maybe she got the year wrong, maybe this and maybe that. And I'm like, look, you come to trial, you gotta have at least your year right. You gotta have your dates right when you're trying to bring down, when you're asking for millions of dollars and you're accusing people of stuff in these type of cases. You can't have your dates mixed up. And guess what happened? She was a Tony Busby client. Guess what? A couple of weeks later, guess what? She dropped the lawsuit. Tony Busby dropped the lawsuit. All because why? We just think she was lying. She lied about her pops. He said he don't remember picking her up or anything to take her home a few hours drive. You know, a lot of lies. So, I mean, you can't believe every single thing just because somebody makes an accusation. You know what I'm saying? I know people want to see people buried. I'm telling you, I said that about the Jay-Z. I said people were looking at Jay-Z. They want Jay-Z buried. But you got to chill because not every time, all 150 of those people, where all those 150 people Tony Busby had that said all of this underage stuff took place, why aren't they being called to testify inside this trial? Maybe the prosecutors know it's BS. Now, So the Fed interviewed this woman so many times and she still couldn't get the dates right, but the government still put her up there. Yeah. And that's what Diddy's defense is saying. You know, now all of that stuff came out in front of the jurors and they can't block that out of their head. They heard it. They heard that Diddy dangled her, threatening her life over the balcony. Now, she never really said why he did that. She just said he kept saying, you know what the F you did, you know what the F you did, but no detail of what was the actual event of him, or the reason him doing that. You know what I'm saying? The feds want this one. Yeah, they really do want it. That's why they put the RICO. Lock her up for lying on the stand, says RC3. That's perjury. Perjury. You know. Hit that like button, guys. Killer Rob, you know damn well Cassie approached you that you will be going crazy over her beauty, says Rob AK. Yeah, I mean, even now, she's pregnant though. She's pregnant now, but she still got the millions in that account. Yeah, y'all guys gonna be acting like Instagram models, getting with Cassie. Y'all gonna act like those female Instagram models that be getting with those 70-year-old men. Those 23-year-old Instagram models getting with those 73-year-old men. Cassie loves Cocoa Puffs. Brian's still the lawyer you get when you when you know you're guilty but have money to get off. Yeah. Like I said, I know Diddy is guilty of stuff. I mean, you know, I would never come up and tell you that. I just want him to be charged properly. And I don't really like this RICO racketeering method that the government be using. I think they are over using this RICO racketeering method. I think they could have easily got a conviction on Diddy just doing it the normal way. You know, file charges on Cassie's behalf or something, get one of these girls, you know, get them protection and get them on sexual assault. Do it that way. I order this federal RICO racketeer because it's like gray areas and it's like, where does it stop? It's setting a bad precedent, I believe. You know what I mean? And it's not, like I said, it wouldn't have been too hard to get a conviction with Diddy. He would have served some good jail time. You know, with one of these other charges, if you'd have charged him properly, as Ray J said, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, I won't see Stinson. You got me all wrong. I'm talking about the rule of law, and we talk about the case. I already said I won't lose sleep if Diddy is convicted because, I mean, all right, he's convicted. All right, I won't lose sleep, but like I just said, if you listen to what I'm saying and you understand what I'm saying, it's not necessarily all about Diddy. It's about setting the precedent. And I don't like that the feds, just to make sure they get a conviction, they throw the nuclear bomb. It's like throwing a nuclear bomb. It's like dropping a bomb, the nuclear bomb, when you don't really have to go that route yet. You know what I mean? You could have got Diddy with one of those little Scud missiles. You know what I mean? You didn't have to drop the nuclear bomb. Now the RICO racketeering is the nuclear bomb. You ain't even have to do that with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You know, one of those little missiles could have got him. You know what I mean? If they dropped the nuclear bomb on him, they could drop the nuclear bomb on us all. Bulletproof Ninja, feds just like everyone else that believes what they hear on records, audio tapes, and videos. It's crazy because all of them talk highly of him and stayed around him for the money, etc., but still decides to testify against him or saying the same bad things about him. Yeah. Now, it's obvious that Diddy, we could put two and two together that Diddy, like his name, Puff, you know what I mean? Because he got, you know, he has a temper, right? And he's abusive. Like I said, they could have got him on that. Sex trafficking is the big one, 15 years of life, serious stuff. Yeah, in which even that, you know, those are consenting adults that were trafficked. They were paid to engage in prostitution. I mean, it is what it is. It is the law of the land. So you got to follow the law of the land, right? But they were paid. They were grown adults going back and forth voluntarily, you know what I'm saying, to get paid that money from Diddy. I mean, you want to put them in jail 15 years of life? All right. If you're in a jury, go ahead. Well, you know, you find them guilty. Like I said, I won't lose sleep over this, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Don't have any respect for the guy, could care less, but this is his bedroom with people legally willing. They fell in love with a dude that didn't love them back. And that's the person that's testifying on the stand right now, Jane Doe. She is an idiot for falling in love with the guy, but that's not illegal. I mean, so what? He said he's not gonna pay $10,000 a month no more if you break up with him. If you stop doing the freak offs, that's his prerogative. That's his right to say. But coercion, Razor Ray, well, she got to go get a job. Get a job and stop taking his money and stop going to have sex for money with him then. And she testified she was in love with him. So it's not like all pay for play. She kept testifying that she's in love. She wanted him to herself. She was getting jealous in the phone calls. You know what I'm saying? And for people that didn't hear that, this was the phone call from Diddy and Jane. And this is him, pretty much laying, yo, get off my back. Why are you so jealous? You know what I mean? And this the person that's, he's been paying her $10,000 because of the love contract since 2023. And to this day, he's still paying her rent, even though he's in prison. So she hasn't had any freak offs. She hasn't had to have any sex with him since he's been locked up. But he's still paying $10,000 a month for her rental. This is Jane Doe, who is testifying on that stand right now.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm gonna be nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence, and ain't nobody threatening you. And I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad. I could have a spat. We could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this with you every time you get upset. Yeah, that's my friend. I'm in Miami. I don't have a lot of friends out here. Okay. She asked me if she could work out with me. I said, okay. You got to believe what you want. It's the last time you're going to be cursing at me, disrespecting me over nothing. Like I'm a human being. I'm not going to lock myself up in a room and have no friends. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. I already told you that. And she just came over to work out. But I'm not going to be explaining to you. It don't matter if I just got finished her the other day. I'm single. I could do whatever the I want to, but I didn't. You're straight flipping out on me, and I told you that you had one more time to do this. Flipping out on me because somebody came to work out with me at my house. You're nuts. So be sad, go crazy, do whatever the you want to do. Okay, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve being honest with somebody, and then every time they see somebody around, they like, I'm doing something. I'm working out. Girl, I done sent you flowers already. Ain't nobody talk about that in the past. That's what I'm talking about. You don't know how to just move on. How can somebody like have a relationship with you even as a friend and you don't know how to move on? You go to like it just goes crazy. Just stop. I'm saying let's move on. And my tone is like this. I'm just waking up.
Yeah, guys, and that was Diddy's message that was played inside the courtroom in front of those jurors, which pretty much showed to me that she was in love with him. She was jealous that he had a person over at his house training with him, and obviously maybe she thought that Diddy was cheating on her with him. That's a relationship thing, and the thing is, she kept going back. You know what I mean? Obviously she was jealous. I mean, that's their own personal thing, man. I can't be bothered with that. Hit that like button, guys. Let me see. We got a super chat from Bulletproof Ninja. Shout out to you, Bulletproof Ninja, with the $5 donation to the Razor Cerveza Fund. We drinking right now, actually, a couple of cervezas as I bring this breaking news about a possible mistrial coming Monday, guys. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Now, if I was a betting man, I would say no, the judge is not going to do it. He's not going to grant a mistrial. But that's why they play the games, right? They play the games because you just never know. You never know. Maybe the judges say. Now it would be interesting to see if he does any. If he tells the jurors, hey, you got to throw out that testimony by Brianna, throw her whole testimony out. That'd be huge for the defense. That alone would be huge. But if he doesn't do anything, like I said, they could go Trump. We're being look, we're being railroaded. We're not being treated fairly. Trump, please pardon Diddy. All right, Diddy will be sipping Presidente by Memorial Day in DR the way the trial is going. Well, shout out to you, Bulletproof Ninja, for that donation. But I think he probably should go to enjoying his buddy Russell Simmons out there in Indonesia. Because Indonesia don't have any extradition treaty. So that's because, so yeah, he might want to just fly over DR straight to Indonesia instead, bro. But thank you for that $5 donation. Woo, hit that like button, God. She wanted to make him happy, no coercion, Killer Rob. Right. They're talking coercion, this. Nah, bro. Nah. Coercion. Like somebody said earlier in my chat, the earlier live, that means if it's coercion, that means our jobs that we work for 9 to 5, the bosses, our employers are doing coercion or coercion us to keep coming to the job by saying, hey, Razor Ray, I'm going to fire you if you don't do this, if you don't do that, and I don't want to do it, and I keep saying I don't want to do it, but my boss keep threatening to fire me. That means I can't get a paycheck. I can't get a paycheck each week, but I'm being coerced to keep coming to work because I want a paycheck, right? To survive, right? Pay bills, right? Same thing with her. Hey, I'm not going to pay you this $10,000 if you're not my girlfriend. If you're not doing this freaky stuff for me, why am I paying you money? Oh, that's coercion. I really want the money. I need the money. So I kept going back. So that means our employers are doing the same thing. They're dangling the money that they are paying us over our heads for us to do exactly what they say at our jobs. Like I said, y'all want to open up a can of worms in a Pandora's box. We could go down that road. That means we can start suing our bosses and say that we are being coerced to do stuff at the job we don't want to do, right? But we keep going back because we want a paycheck. She kept going back to Diddy because she wanted the 10 grand. I mean, she could have just said no. He's in jail now. She didn't have to accept the payments over the past 8 months. I bet you. Watch when Diddy's defense team, they're going to kill her on them payments. And guess what's going to happen? Those jurors are going to be celebrating it again. Brian Still, if he's the one cross-examining her. But like I said, once again, thank you for that $5. Killer Brand, she wanted the money. Jane Doe said she was still in a relationship with Diddy until he got locked up. So yes, he is still paying those bills. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Well, like I said, man, I don't know, man. It's like listen, grown adults doing grown adult things. Bunch of drug addicts, if you ask me. Now they are blaming Diddy for making them drug addicts. So if y'all want to get them on that, but still, I know it's peer pressure by Diddy. Just don't hang out with somebody like that. You're a grown lady. See, they wanted to hang out with him because he had the fame, he had the clout, he had the money. He can open up doors for them, so that's why they continue to hang out with him. Now I know Diddy took advantage of his fame, clout, but that's just the way humans are. That's the way life is. I mean, that's just the way it is. Billionaires and millionaires and celebrities, they have advantages over females because the females know that they want to be around that. They want that life. You know what I'm saying? And they will be peer pressured to do drugs and stuff like that. But that's the life you sign up for. Now, there are being laws put into place to try to litigate the stupidity of poor choices by these women. It's like, well, the coercion, it was coerced or this and that. and not just women, but stupid males too that do stupid stuff. So there's being laws put into place because of the stupid decisions that humans make. You know what I'm saying, here in America, and these laws are being being put into place. But I think it's just too many laws. Sometimes you just gotta let the human fail on his own. He make a stupid decision. He gotta live off of that on that decision that he makes. That should not be a law. Some of these things should not be laws. Everything can't be a crime. Some things are just personal responsibility. All right, you made a mistake. You move on from that mistake. You do something else. Stop collecting that 10 grand from Diddy. Go get a job or downsize. Don't have that house where you got to pay $10,000 a month rent. Why are you entitled? He don't have no kid with you. Why are you entitled to $10,000 a month from this guy? Why is he entitled to pay you that? Well, he's entitled to pay you as long as you keep sleeping with him and being in a relationship with him, a freakish relationship, but that's your decision to continue to do that. So any parent would tell their kid that. He honest. I hear a relationship. Yeah, it was a relationship. That call helps him. You say, I think the call helps Diddy. Feds will bring him down onto earth, says Stinson. So you still holding out that the feds going to bring him down to earth? Brian Floyd says Diddy is done. Hello, Razor in chat. All is well and well on this Saturday. Ray Johnson. Shout out to you, Ray Johnson. Hope all is well with you. Bulletproof Ninja Fact. True, that paycheck make you go back to something you hate until you get fed up with it. Yeah, I mean, Diddy is a simp. He pays her rent and she still testify against him. Wow, that's diabolical, bro. I bet you he ain't gonna pay that rent for July. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna pay that July rent. But shout out to you for that another $5 donation to the Razor Fund. He ain't paying that rent now. After this. But, you know, guys, you look at Diddy's troubles and you guys don't follow in his footsteps because he got to take responsibility for him getting gold diggers and getting these chicks too. His sexual addiction is what got him into this mess right now that he's in right now. He's facing 15 years of life because he's a sex addict and he's a freak. And you're dealing with chicks that'll turn on you in a second and testify on you, sue you in a second. You know, I mean, personal accountability, both sides. But these are all adults, you know. The prosecutor is going to keep saying objection in sidebar, and the judge going to keep saying overrule. Yeah, and they put that in their letter to the judge for the mistrial. They said during the time they was cross-examining about the balcony incident, which they call her a straight-up liar, the prosecutors kept interrupting, trying to throw them off, and they knew that their key witness was a liar. They knew it, or they should have known. That's why you got to declare mistrial. We'll see what happened on Monday. Razor, I bet the jury jumped out of their seats when they heard Diddy is still paying her rent. Yeah, it's like at this point, why are we here? Why is she here? The only testimony that's really valid for me that I would care about if I was on that jury was the ecstasy pills she claimed that she took on an airplane to LA for Diddy, so they can get high in the bathroom when they got to the hotel in LA. That's the only one. And y'all want to, well, in the one where they saying they paid for sex workers to fly across state lines to do the freak offs. I mean, and that stuff we already heard from, we already knew that. So all this other stuff is their own personal relationship, which I don't need to hear as a juror. It's irrelevant to it's irrelevant for me personally. I don't care. You can read me all the laws and stuff about coercion you want. I mean, that has zero effect on me. I don't care. So excuse me from the jury then. I'm not cooperating in this. Kaboom, guess who stepped in the room? Puff coming home, he's coming home. Tell the world he's coming home. Wipe away all the pain, all the tears from yesterday. What up, future world? Film salute. Harlem always come home. Kaboom. Shout out to you. Hello, Marie. Anybody new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Just raise a raise. This is raise a raise. Shout out to Sean G also in that channel. My guy Sean G in his channel covering the Diddy trial. The soul guy. Since the beginning of time, women have been chasing the bag. Remember high school when the dudes graduated and came back around with their little money and car? Them girls used to love them dudes. Monday, we would know who's lying for sure. Monday's gonna be a big day. I'm gonna be down there at the court on Monday. We're gonna see what's going on. It's gonna be a lot. It's probably gonna be a lot more media out there too. It is already a lot of media. It's probably gonna get a even more bump in media, considering that the mistrial is hovering over the heads of the because I know the media is gonna want to be out there just in case the judge do a mistrial. Now it's more than likely he's not gonna do it, but hey, I know the media want to be out there to cover it. As adults, where is the accountability? There is none. Obviously, the law, the courts want to step in, and they want to run your bedrooms and run your relationships and tell you what you could do and what you can't do in your own relationship, and tell you that, oh, you being a playboy is a crime nowadays because you let this girl on, you coerced her to come. Like I always use this example. Let's just say Razor Ray's had a girlfriend. I'm paying her bills, her light bill, $250 a month. And then she decided to really start giving me the cold shoulder and not returning my phone calls. And, I'm thinking that, oh, she's probably moving on. So I hit her up. I'm like, same thing like Diddy did. Hey, hey, if you moved on and you giving me the cold shoulder, no way in world I'm paying you $250. So you don't expect me that $250 to come from me. Get it from somebody else. And then later on, she hits me back and she comes back with me. And then let's say I get into trouble with the law, right? Say the feds. And then they call her as a witness because they know I was in a relationship with her. And she goes on trial testifying, oh, I didn't want to be with Razor Rays anymore. I was trying to get away from him, but he was threatening not to pay my $250 light bill anymore. So that's the only reason I got back with him. That's the only reason I started sleeping with him. I didn't want to do those acts with Razor Rays, but he threatened not to pay my $250 light bill. Coercion! Legally, that's coercion, right? Y'all keep running off this coercion nonsense. That's technically coercion. I coerced her. I held money over her head, saying I'm not going to pay. So she came back for financial reasons because I was saying that I was going to take the $250 away from her. I wasn't going to pay her no more. It's the same thing what's going on with Diddy. He said, I'm not going to pay you $10,000 rent no more if you're not going to be with me. Why would I do that? How did that become a crime? Now, I know they put that as a crime, coercion, but I mean, come on. Everything don't need to be a crime. That's all I'm saying. Exactly what it's giving, crazy nonsense, says Marie. Hell, I won't even, hey, not only will I stop paying the $250, I want my gold chain back that I bought you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, can I get that gold chain back that I bought you for Valentine's Day? Nah, I mean, no, but I ain't gonna get that back. But hey, hey, I want my gold that I bought you. So I give it to another girl. God damn it. I want all my stuff back. Give me my stuff back, please. I want my chain back I gave you. As I'm crying and drinking my beer. Oh man, hit the like button, guys. Will he get the mistrial on Monday? Like Billy Preston's song say, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something if you want to be with me, says Ray Johnson. She needed to get a real job. Yeah, and my guy was like, well, Diddy knew he probably should keep paying her the 10 grand, even though he's in jail, because she probably was going to testify even more harsher if he didn't. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, this is all like stuff we don't even be needing to hear. This kind of irrelevant to the case. This is not like relevant stuff to this case, to be honest with you. Besides the whole drugs, they just asked a few minutes about the drugs, her taking the drug, the ecstasy pills on the plane so they can get high in LA. That's relevant, but this other stuff is private stuff. They're just putting this sexual business out there, which we don't need to hear this. Belmont Stakes today. Belmont Stakes today. You should have gone to Saratoga. I crushed it. Now, I'm trying to stay away from the gambling, Stinson. I done lost so much money inside this casino out here in New York. This scamming casino out here. I don't want to be putting money on horses. I lost too much money on these slots, these rigged slot machines out here inside New York. You know what I mean? Now, legally, an engagement ring has to be returned if there is no marriage. That's not coercion. Yeah, well, I know about the engagement ring, but sometimes guys just buy a woman a gold chain or something like that. A regular ring, not for marriage or not for, sometimes you just buy, I have done in the past. Sometimes you just buy a jewelry for a girl, just, as a nice gesture. Then you want it back once she break up with you. then you be on Judge Judy trying to get your gold chain back. Well, young mommy at least got a TV show out of it. Diddy went against the wrong people, so they intentionally put these witnesses on the stand for public humiliation because I thought Diddy. Now, guys, will this Brianna person be the Fed's downfall? I mean, for all the supposed RICO racketeering, all it takes, like I said, go back to Mark Furman in the OJ trial. He destroyed that case by him pleading the fifth. When they asked him, did you plant evidence? By him saying, I plead the fifth, I don't want to incriminate myself as the lead detective. Now you're putting doubt in the jury's head that maybe he did plant evidence against OJ. You know what I'm saying? So, and OJ's defense ran with that. So now Diddy's defense is going to run with this. By them putting that lady up there that got her dates all crossed up and mixed up, and maybe her and Cassie was doing something, Diddy's team is going to run with this. And that, man, Judge Mathis, the famous judge, said he would have had Diddy 10 years. He's Cook Razor, Stop It, Scumbag Trading Inc. Well, Judge Mathis is not the judge of this case. So you stop it, Scumbag Trading. It's Judge Aaron. And right now, he has a sitting request, Scumbag, for a mistrial. Listen, hey, Scumbag, don't shoot the messenger. They the ones filed for the mistrial. The prosecutors, the feds are the one that put this lady up there to lie. So, unfortunately, Scumbag, for you, they might have to do a retrial, Scumbag, and get a whole new jury and start over. Or just do a plea deal, Scumbag. That's what happens when you mess up and you don't vet your witnesses properly. Your witness can destroy your case. It is what it is. Don't get mad at me. I'm just bringing you the news. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. Like you, bro. You're a good sport for you. Yeah, yeah. Come on in, y'all. Y'all free to give y'all opinion. You know what I'm saying? I like y'all opinions because that's what it's all about over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to. I don't shut anybody down in their opinions. Y'all can hit the panel. Y'all can come on the panel if y'all want to, and give y'all opinions. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link for anybody if they want to come on. I forgot to do that actually. If anybody want to come on, give y'all opinion. Will there be a mistrial? Will there not? If not, don't worry about it. You don't have to come on. Nobody has to come on up here. I wasn't gonna drop the link, but I still got some more beer left. I'll drop the link for a little bit. Anybody want to come up? But yeah, man, this is gonna be interesting on Monday. Did you screen record Keith's live? His wife jumped him for talking crazy about dating other women. What? Oh my god. No, I know he was live. So she heard him talk about dating other women while he was live. Oh wow. That's probably a members only. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone. Unless he want to come on my show and talk about it. That one I'm gonna leave alone, scumbag. I'm gonna leave that one. I want to see it though, but I'm gonna leave that one alone unless he's doing the rounds and doing interviews about the incident, and he wants to come on. I give him that option. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, that had to be hilarious. What do you mean jumped him though? You mean she just screamed on him? She didn't hit him, right? She didn't hit him. She just started screaming, right, Adam? Ravens fan, a mistrial should be granted with charges dismissed, but the judge is very biased toward the prosecution. So Ravens fan, so you think the judge is very biased against the against the defense, you mean? I mean, so all right, against the defense toward the toward the prosecution. So you're saying the judge wants the prosecution to win. Now the judge did scream at Diddy for nodding his head during cross-examination. During the time they was cross-examining the lady about the dates of the balcony incident, and Diddy was bobbing his head toward the jurors, and the judge, after that, told him to stop or he's going to ban him from the courtroom. He said Diddy was trying to influence the jury. Young mommy was okay with that transaction situation. LOL, she seems she had no issue with Diddy. Keith's married. I'm not sure if he is. He had on vibing with Misha, the girl who lets her man cheat on the panel. It all started there. Okay. Maybe he'll still have it up. So when I finish this live stream, I'll go check it out. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see it, see what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'll just hit him up before I run with it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's more of a personal issue right there. So that's the same thing I did with Ice City when he had his issue with his girlfriend. I hit Ice City up first before I went live with that. You know what I'm saying, scumbag? I hit Ice City up and he agreed to come on. So I let him do his live first, and then he agreed to come on and do the show with me. So certain things I won't really touch to that effect, scumbag. That's just the way I operate, unless they are coming on. You know what I'm saying? So you heard about the Austin versus Kid Greatness beef. Now, shout out to Kid Greatness. He pulled up to New York City about 3 weeks ago. Time fly, and we went live. We hung out in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan. So shout out to Kid Greatness. We did that collab. This kid, shout out to him and his channel, Kid Greatness in New York. So what the hell are they beefing about? Huh? Wait a minute. I just realized. What is Austin and Kid Greatness beefing about now? What is going on? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some more live in the travel space. What's going on? How did this happen? Is it real beef or made up beef? What's going on? What's going on? How? What is Kid Greatness in Austin Holloman beefing about? Oh man, Check you on Monday later. All right, Stinson. We'll be here, Stinson. Stinson, hey, you might Stinson on Monday. You might be on the live, you know, with a Diddy mistrial. wait, see. Hey, but well, yeah, what is Kid Greatness and Austin beefing about? The judge is an employee of the state. The prosecutors are as well, says One Love. Mathis became a judge after he got arrested for that stuff. Yeah, well, yeah. Shout out to Judge Mathis, man. Hey, like I said, everybody gonna have their opinion on this, and that's why this is the trial of the century, 21st century. Mathis, Joe Brown, all of them been arrested for DWI, but they talk bad about people. Well, really, you know, yeah. I mean, you know, it's their job. I mean, it's okay for them to have opinions. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going, no matter what field of work you in, you're always gonna have your opinion. So, and we all got into trouble and stuff in our past. So, you know, I mean, like I said, things happen, and even if you're in a position or a former position of power and you were a judge, maybe you had a DWI, maybe you was a criminal outright, and you change your life around, and you know, you're still gonna give your opinions or stuff. Now, people are gonna hold your past against you, but still, you still got the right for your opinion. So, will you be on Monday? Oh yeah. I'm gonna be on Monday. I'm gonna be out there at that Diddy trial. I'm gonna be out there in the Diddy trial. The Diddy trial. Yeah. Judge Mathis is alive and well. Like I said, hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel? One Love says rest in peace, Judge. No, yeah, Judge Mathis is alive. He not dead. Not surprised. Austin is a dirty Mac. Passport Pookie. Yeah. So what's going on? I'm gonna have to catch up with that then. I'm gonna have to catch up with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to catch up with that Kid Greatness thing because I don't know what would happen to the items the feds took. Does Diddy get them back? Should he beat the charges? What happens now if it's a mistrial? There's three options. There's an option just to do a plea deal. There's the option for the prosecutors to retry the case with a new jury, or there's an option where they can just dismiss the case altogether, the prosecutors. You know what I'm saying? So those are the three options in the event of a mistrial. We'll see on Monday. You know, we'll see on Monday. What will the judge do before the trial? So a lot of people are gonna be out there early. So I'll probably get out there earlier than normal. Before the trial on Monday, the prosecutor is gonna respond to the mistrial, and we're gonna see. The judge is gonna make his decision on Monday on whether or not to grant a mistrial. That's gonna be a big event on Monday. Also, even if the trial goes on, this Jane Doe person might be finished testifying for the prosecutors, and then a cross-examination from Brian Steele and Diddy's defense team is going to start on Jane Doe, and that's going to be big time. That's going to be entertaining to see how they attack her. The only people winning are Diddy's lawyers. They get paid by the hour. They rubbing their hands with chance of new trial. I mean, yeah, they're going to get paid. Someone getting paid like $300, $400, $500 an hour. Probably $600 or $700 an hour. No telling how much Brian's still making an hour. You know? So he hired like 8 to 10 of them lawyers. Hit that like button though, guys. Anybody want to do live streams like this? New to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get $10 discount. Hit this link. You get $10 off your sign up to StreamYard, guys. Ray Johnson, a mistrial can be retried, but a mistrial with prejudice can't be retried. Right. It just depends on if it's if it's with prejudice, it can't be retried. If it's without prejudice, or with yeah. So yeah, I heard that during the whole Young Thug trial. Young Thug trial, Ray Johnson. Oh, that's true. Well, we'll see, guys. Thank you guys for your for joining. Hung jury is a possibility. That's another thing in the next like 3 weeks. This trial should be over in like 3 weeks. So we'll see about a hung jury. Is it even gonna go to the jury? Would they plead out before that? So different twists and turns, different ways this could go. And I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for tuning in. I had dropped the StreamYard link also, if anybody wanted to come up real quick. So I'm gonna stay on for like another minute just in case somebody hit the link. If not, thank you guys for tuning in. And we will be back live from the Diddy trial on Monday. Anything else breaks tomorrow, I will come back live on it. I'm going to check out the travel space stuff y'all been telling me about. See if I can get the insider tea. And take it from there. Hit that like button in the meantime. Shout out to you, Marie. This is fun covering this, though. You know, this is fun covering this. I had a lawyer making $400 an hour and nowhere near still them levels, so I can't imagine their prices. And they know Diddy got the money too. So yeah, they probably doubling the price then because it's Diddy. They know he got the money. They know he's in a desperate situation. So yeah, they could probably double, probably a triple that 400 an hour and get it because they know Diddy got it. You know what I'm saying? And they know he's in he's in a bad situation with the Fed 95% conviction rate with these things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why they're trying to pull out all the stops with this mistrial stuff, and they're gonna continue to try to do mistrials. They're trying to pull out all the stops because they know they are the underdogs. The Diddy's team are the underdogs with this federal racketeering charge because of the 95% conviction rate that the feds or winning rate, whatever they do, they win most of the time. So they know they're the underdogs, so they're trying to do the upset. They're trying to do the upset. You know what I mean? They're trying to bring down the number one seed. It's the 16th seed trying to bring down the number one seed. The judge trying to avoid a mistrial. Razor, I hear that juice sounds low, bro. I hear that juice sounds low, bro. I have seen a bit PF prejudice, but how the judge is acting at moment. So you talking to Ray Johnson about that? I have seen all right, prejudice, but how the all right. What should be done and what will happen? Unfortunately, the wrong decision will be made. So you talk about on Monday, Raven? You so you're not going to grant the mistrial, right? Well, like I said, they're going to go to Trump. Like, hey, Trump, man, they should have did the mistrial. They're not being fair to us, Trump. Like they wasn't. Remember, Trump? You said they wasn't fair to you, Trump. Remember you said that, Trump. All right, guys. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining, guys. And we'll be back. Next, probably tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. And we'll continue with this case. And we'll see what's gonna happen on Monday. Will he get the mistrial or not? I'm Razor Rays, and I am out.